Previously on my channel I built a really cool robotic platform. I attached extremely expensive but also really powerful motors to it. It was incredibly fast, I drive around my house and even my cat got interested. The goal for this video is to use this chassis and make it somehow autonomous. It may sound very easy, but actually it's not, and even simple things are quite interesting in this project, so I hope you will enjoy it. Let's start with LIDAR, because I think this is the most interesting part of this project, and this is something that I started working on very long time ago, and it took me enormous amount of time to get it working with the Arduino. There are some LIDARs like the RP LIDAR or something like this, and you even have a library for that for the Arduino, and it's quite easy to use, but in this case there was pretty much no documentation. I mean, everything was Chinese, so it was quite difficult to understand, and I had to figure out how to actually read all the data and then use it with the Arduino. I started my experiments with Arduino Uno, and I wanted to read all the data through serial, as this is the only way of communicating with this LiDAR. And quickly I realized that Arduino Uno is just not fast enough. You have just one serial port, and this is probably impossible to do. So I decided to switch to Arduino MKR1010 Wi-Fi. This thing has built-in Wi-Fi, which will be very useful later, and it's also quite powerful. You have two serial ports, so it is quite easy to read the data and also display it on the serial port. The LiDAR is sending the data in frames with hex values, a lot of hex values, and firstly I had to figure out which value means exactly what, and then figure out a way to interpret that and recalculate to get the distances, the signal, the actual position. Next step for my LiDAR experiments was obviously somehow visualizing this data, because just displaying so many points in the serial port means nothing to me. So how about a simple program to visualize it? And what's the best language to actually write simple programs like this? In my opinion, it's Python, so I decided to go with that, using Pygame library, which is meant to actually make games in Python, but you can also use it for stuff like this. I wrote a very simple visualizer where you can see all the points around the LiDAR, and here you can see that it is already kind of working. I later switched from this user interface to something that is a little bit more clear, and that was a really good decision, but I will talk about that later in the video. This is also a good point to mention that math sometimes, at least sometimes, can be very interesting and very useful. In order to create this visualization, I had to generate points around a circle, and I'm doing all of that with this single line of code. Here I am just retyping the formula from the Python code into an online plotter to show you how it works, and as you can see, by increasing the point number from 0 to 9, I will generate 10 different points, and by changing the 10 to a different value, for example 100, the point will move further apart from the origin, as this is the radius of the circle. And here with just 2 additional lines of code, I will generate a list of points, in this case 100 points. By multiplying the coordinates of the point by a number, you can move this point on the radius of the circle, what you can see right here, and that's what I'm doing. I'm multiplying by a distance divided by some value. And that's how the visualization works. As I said, it's simple stuff, nothing complicated when it comes to math in this project, but actually it shows how interesting and useful math sometimes can be. The only problem that I should also mention about is that LiDAR data is pretty noisy. Unfortunately, sometimes the points just jump around, and it all depends on the lighting conditions and how the LiDAR is working, how it is positioned, and also the surface that is actually reflecting the light. For that I used HTTP client library from Arduino and Wi-Fi Nina, also from Arduino. Really good and simple to use libraries, and I found a good or even excellent video from Arduino on how to connect actually Arduino with processing through socket connection, and it was very easy to adapt this example to actually get it working with Python. So in I don't know, an hour, maybe 2 hours, I was ready with that, and I was able to send simple data from the Arduino to Python. But then of course I had to somehow serialize the data from the LiDAR and send it to the Python, decode it and display it in my visualizer. If you would like to use my code in your projects, of course you can do that, but you have to change a few things, and that is of course the name of your Wi-Fi, the password to your Wi-Fi, and IP address of the computer where you will actually be running the Python script. Of course you have to be connected to the single Wi-Fi to get it working properly, and you can check that IP address with ipconfig on Windows or ifconfig if config on Mac or Linux. Next interesting but very simple thing in this project is Arduino to Arduino communication, because I actually have two Arduino boards in this robot. One is the Arduino Uno that I used in my previous video to control the motors, and the other one is the Arduino MKR, and those two Arduinos have to communicate in order to control the motors properly. So the communication between those two boards is incredibly simple, just two wires and no library at all. We can send 00, 10, 01 or 11, four possible states, and that means forward, left, right or stop. Why I did that? Because I'm lazy and I really like simple solutions, and this is the simplest possible solution because there is no library, there is no some kind of advanced synchronization, and you know, like no I2C, no SPI, you don't have to worry about anything. It's just simple setting and reading of the pin values. It's very simple and it works. And I 3D printed a simple holder for the new Arduino board. Thanks to the open robotic platform design, it was incredibly easy because all of the holes are just 20 millimeters apart, so I don't need even the 3D model of this robot to design whatever I want for a new project. How I powered this robot? This is very simple, but I thought it may be interesting for some of you, so here I would like to mention a few things about my power system. I broke a battery. Unfortunately, LiPo batteries are kind of difficult to handle, and if you discharge a LiPo battery a bit too much, it will break, and that's exactly what happened. So I bought two new batteries. This time those batteries are exactly the same, and that's how we should use them in this series connection. And I also have two voltage monitors that I will just plug into each battery, and that way I will all the time monitor the voltage. So that's pretty much it for the LiPo battery setup for this project, and I'm using those LiPo batteries only for the motors, and I'm powering both Arduinos and the LiDAR with the power bank, like a normal standard power bank with just a USB cable. I can plug it in, and then you can see the LiDAR is moving and Arduinos are powered. So actually I'm connecting to the MKR board in the back, and then from this board I'm taking 5 volts that is connected to the Arduino Uno, and that is how it is powered. I decided to use the power bank to power the microcontrollers in this project because I read online that actually connecting GND from the microcontroller to motors may cause some problems, and it is a good practice to keep those two things separated. This robot is communicating with my computer over Wi-Fi on my local private network, and there is no any sensitive data. But when you are browsing the internet, it may not always be that safe, and that's why this video is sponsored by NordVPN. VPN means virtual private network. It encrypts your data so that even your service provider is not able to see what sites you are browsing. If you like watching movies on streaming services and some movies are not available in your country, VPN can mask your IP address, and that is your location, so that you can watch movies that are not available in your country but are available in other countries. All of that is really easy to set up and use. You can install it on your phone, you can install it on your computer, or just simply use a browser extension. Go to nordvpn.com/nikodembartnik and get your 2-year plan with 1 additional month with a huge discount. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. There is a link in the description, go check it out. And now back to the video. The Python code is very simple and short, but there was a lot of problems for some reason, and I was able to, I think, solve most of them, and it was a great learning experience. It was fun. For example, as I mentioned, the LiDAR data was pretty noisy, so I created a simple filter. It's actually just a Python function, and it's trying to exclude all of the data that may be damaged, and the same thing is pretty much going on the Arduino. So we have two filters trying to filter the data. Then we have my main algorithm. This is the algorithm for searching the biggest path in front of the robot. So basically the idea was to make it... That explanation was pretty bad, so let me try once again. I'm dividing the measurements, the circle, into segments, and I'm adding few values within each segment. And then, if the biggest value is on the right, I'm turning right. If it is on the left, I'm turning left. And if it is in the front, I'm going forward. It's as simple as that. The algorithm is not perfect, but the whole visualizer with algorithms and with everything is like 130 lines of code, so I'm surprised that it even works. I also modified the visualization a bit now, and instead of using the lines, I'm using the points. This cloud of points is a bit more clear, I think. It looks just a bit better. I think it's not gonna get better at least much better than that, so let me show you how it works. The Python script is already running, so once I turn on the robot, we should see the LiDAR data on the computer right here. The moment it just has to connect to the Wi-Fi, and here it is. You can see all the points, and with the keyboard we can control the robot. Obviously controlling it with the keyboard is not really that interesting and it's nothing new. So that's why there is a special mode that you turn on with the A button. A means automatic, so if I press A, the robot will start driving by itself, as you can see right here. And here on the computer screen you can also observe the map and the green line that is indicating where the robot wants to go. I think it's time to put the Raspberry Pi on this robot and see what it can do. I will start with programming simple Python scripts to control the robot, and then we'll move on to ROS, Robot Operating System, and see if I will be able to build some more advanced robots, because that would be really cool. Thanks a lot for watching, thanks a lot to NordVPNs for sponsoring. Happy making, bye!